What is up, YouTube? As you know, this is Staff Sergeant Calhoun. So what I'll do is I'll start this video off by saying, semper fi, do or die. So the reason I start this video off with something completely motivated, dedicated, and just completely just motivated to the nth degree with this is very simple. Today's September 13th, Sunday. I just woke up from a nap. It's the afternoon. It's late afternoon right now. Sun's going down. It's like 5:30 or 6. I don't even know. So it's late afternoon on a Sunday, September 13th. And I got some pure moto right there for all my hard chargers, devil dogs, motivated Marines out there. Y'all know what this means. For those civilians who don't, I'll explain it. We abbreviate it as the EGA, or the eagle, the globe, and the anchor. The EGA, eagle, globe, and anchor. All right, so this kind of goes along with a video I had already uploaded explaining that I was bored from this COVID-19 quarantine nonsense. So what I did was I slapped together this welding cart. You know, I put it together because it came all completely disassembled. And I had actually purchased this welding cart at Harbor Freight months before I ever got the welder. Months before, like 4 or 5 months prior. Because I knew I was going to eventually buy a welder. I was just looking for a good deal. And I also wanted to get the welder that I felt was good for me, for my skill level, and for what I needed it for. I didn't want to get a Miller out the gate, you know, $1,300 welder. Even though I do want a Miller welder. They are, in my opinion, the best. The Miller line of welders around the $1,400 range, professional grade welders are just the best, man. They're so good. When I was in welding school at Cerritos College, we trained on exclusively Miller brand welders, all up and down the list, you name it. MIG, TIG, stick welding, flux cord. From some of the welders at that school, the welding machines were valued at $10,000. Some of them were valued at $5,000. Some of them were valued at $4,000. As low down as about $2,500. That was probably the cheapest welder we used. It was like a $2,500 welder. So there's a relationship with Cerritos College and Miller. And like I said, some of the higher end welders there were about $10,000. Beautiful machines. I think there was one there that was about 14 grand. And they held up, and semester after semester after semester. And so that was where I got my introduction to the science of melting and fusing metal together at Cerritos College. So what I did was I bought this welding cart for $20. It was just a deal I couldn't pass up. They had some kind of a clearance or something. They had too many of those carts. And normally I think it was like 60 or 70 bucks for the cart. And it's all metal construction, anodized black metal. It's steel. It's all steel construction. But when it came in parts. So here's the manual. Let me show you. It's a 100-pound capacity. So you could put a 100-pound welder on that top shelf. That welder is only 24 pounds. The welding cart is made by Chicago Electric, and it came completely disassembled like you see there. Whole bunch of parts. There's the parts list and description and diagram. You can order extra parts if you wanted to from Chicago Electric, I'm sure from their website. Gives you some basic instructions on how to slap it together. Your washers and your cotter pins. The casters, bolts, nuts, uprights, steel, all steel. detailed instructions, real basic stuff. If you can't slap this together, I don't know how you call yourself a welder, because it's really basic. There's the box. I'm going to keep the box because in case I have to take it apart, or if I, maybe one day I want to upgrade and I sell this thing, I can take it apart, put it back in the box, tape up the box, and sell it. Same with the welder itself. Here's the box for that. That's a $400 welder from Harbor Freight. Titanium brand, which is one of their higher end brands. Not as good as a Miller. Miller's my favorite. But it is almost as good as a Miller. It is very good. It's a professional, semi-professional level welding machine. Home hobbyist, auto repair, building things, making furniture for your wife, emergency situations, repairing little damaged stuff, broken stuff, creating metal and steel art, which a lot of people do. So it's up to you if you're a creative artist. You can use this for that. It puts out a lot of power, a lot of heat for what it is. It's small, it's compact, it's lightweight, it's inexpensive. But for all that, you get a big benefit out of the capabilities of this thing. So MIG 140 is metal inert gas, meaning this is a pretty much a MIG welder, but it's a dual process welder, meaning it does two processes in the welding processes out of the 4 that I learned. The 2 that this one completes is the MIG, which is metal inert gas metal arc welding, flux core arc welding, FCA, flux core arc welding. So those are the 2. But I take that back. You can also use aluminum, which is still pretty much MIG. So anyways, those are the 2 processes, because you can weld aluminum with this, but you need to purchase a separate spool gun. So it is spool gun ready. You can buy a spool gun through Titanium's website, or even go to Harbor Freight and buy it, or on Harbor Freight's website and buy the spool gun if you're going to weld aluminum. Personally, I'll tell you from what I've learned in school and just experience, I don't like welding aluminum. Why? Because there is some evidence that it may be a significant cause of the early onset of Alzheimer's disease. The fumes that come off of aluminum when you're welding it can cause potentially the early onset of Alzheimer's. And you'll walk around here like Joe Biden, and you don't want that. Okay, so enough on that. That's a safety issue. You have to look into that on your own. Go to school, go to welding school and learn about it, read up about it. I'm not going to cover all that right now. I like to weld steel, mostly steel. I don't have a problem welding brass. I don't have a problem welding alloys, but I like to weld steel. Cold rolled steel, whatever, titanium, stainless steel, you name it, I like to weld steel. That's my thing. I can weld aluminum, and I've learned how to weld aluminum. I just prefer not to, like I just told you why. The main thing is this: whenever you're welding, wear your ANSI certified safety goggles or glasses, which is your eye protection, and wear your welding hood. Wear your gloves. Wear natural fibers, cotton, so forth, linen, whatever, denim. Wear long sleeves. Otherwise, you're going to get some sparks flying and creating little burns on you, which I don't have because I didn't have any problems with my safety stuff. I always wore the gloves, and I always wore my long sleeves, and I always wore natural fibers. And I always wore my ANSI certified safety glasses and my welding hood and a little natural material welding cap. And that's just to help keep your head, because you're going to sweat. It gets hot. Welding can be hot work. It's fun. It's a great science, but you can get hot. Summertime, wintertime, you can get hot. All right, so recommendations, highly. This is a $400 welder, brand new. They had marked it down to $319. Again, when I got it, the guy took off some more money, and I paid. It says $299 there, but it was really like $290 plus tax. So I paid $290 plus tax for this welder, and you can't beat that. You cannot beat that. I've welded, I've repaired a boat trailer, the leaf springs. It broke in on this guy's boat. He paid me to repair it. I went there, took a look at it, assessed it, clamped the leaf springs in place, lifted up the trailer so that I can get to the work spot, tacked it, grinded it first, tacked it, and then did my flux core weld. I used flux core because it was an outdoor job. And when you're welding outdoors, typically you're going to want to use flux core because the wind, and since the core is where the flux is, you don't have to worry about some breeze or something blowing your gas bubble. Because when you're welding with MIG, metal inert gas, it creates this little bubble of gas where the heat is, and that's your gas metal arc welding that creates that heat. Now, if a strong breeze comes, it'll blow that gas away, and then your weld keeps sputtering and it'll stop. My welders out there, you understand what I'm talking about. If you're not an experienced welder, this may be new to you, but you'll see in construction sites when they're building structural steel girders, apartment complexes, houses, buildings, whatever, outdoors, it's always flux cord. And it's usually either Miller or Lincoln. Those are the two big names in professional structural welding. Pipeline, Miller and Lincoln. You're going to see those over and over again. Miller, Lincoln, Miller, Lincoln. But those are expensive machines. Like I said, there's a machine that I'm looking at that I would like to get in the future called the Miller 211. That sucker's $1,400 but it's a beautiful machine and it'll last for years, and it's got great power output, and you can weld a lot of stuff with it, do trailer repairs, auto repairs, all that. But I could also do that with this. So on a budget, this is great. And I'm going to tell you, when I welded that repair job for the trailer for this guy, he had a bass boat. He's a fisherman. His trailer had been broken for over a year, been sitting there, broken in half. The leaf springs were broken in half. I welded that. Once I set it up, it took me 15, 20 minutes to set up. And then the actual weld itself only took about 15 more minutes. He was super, and I said, let it sit and then put the weight back on it, whatever, let it harden. He was so happy with it. He paid me it's well worth the amount of money. Like I think I got $100 on that job. But that was the first job I had ever done with this welder. And he had said, hey man, don't you have a welder? I said, yeah. He goes, you really know what you're doing? I go, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I went to school for it. Can you weld this? I'll pay you. I didn't know he was going to pay me. I was like, I'll do you the favor, man. I want to operate this machine anyways and see what it can do. I was very pleased with it. All those skills that I learned in welding school came into play. Knowing how to use the ground cable and clamp it to the workpiece and prep the work space, with the workpiece, with grinding it with my angle grinder, and setting the metal together and clamping it, and then getting my settings right, all that stuff. And it was a lot of fun. So, let me tell you a little bit about this. One of our projects in welding school at Cerritos College was to make out of this steel, is cold rolled steel, 1018, cold rolled steel. Make an image and cut it out with an acetylene torch. And so this is what I chose. I just had there was a template, kind of draw it, and then you get your metal and you use your acetylene torch and you cut all this out. And I got an A on this project. My teacher said it was very good because the detail was much better than what he would have expected out of steel, cutting with a torch, with a acetylene torch. I had to hand cut this out, basically. In other words, when I'm cutting, I'm holding the nozzle and just going around it by hand. And so he gave me an A because he said, you deserve it because this is a big piece of steel. And then you grind it. It had a mill scale all over it. So I grinded the front and the back. And I plan on mounting this on a plaque because it's one of my projects. I did a few of these, actually. This is like probably number 4. Like, we had to do at least one. I did 4. But the other ones weren't Marine Corps emblems. They were like, I did the Punisher and I did Batman and some other stuff. And they came out pretty good too, but this one came out the best. So I'm more proud of that one than I am the other ones. The other ones were good too, though. I'm proud of them all. And well, once you get one done, you get an A. He signs off on your thing and check marks your project off. You got the grade for it. And then if you do more, that's on you. Okay, so It sits on the cart really easily, very, very snug fit, perfect fit. Hangs over the edge right here a little bit, which is like, it's like made for this. As you can see, that little lip catches right there on this little edge. It literally is, seems like it is literally built and designed for this, which basically this welding cart, like I said, it holds up to 100-pound welder. It's built for a small inverter style welder like this. It's made for something. There's other ones, there's Hobart's, like I said, there's other brands, Lincoln, Miller, but it fits here. This titanium MiG 140 fits this just perfectly. So let me go over some details here. I have my Husky bag with tools in there, my angle grinders in there. I have some wrenches. There's a flashlight, some C-clamps. There's a adjustable wrench right there. People call them crescent wrenches. They're really called adjustable wrenches. That's the actual term. Here's the ground clamp. You want to always have your stuff grounded, clamped to the workpiece or something where it could transfer that, complete that circuit. You learn all that in welding school. Those of you who already know, you know. You open up this little hooyah here. What do you got? You have your settings. Wire feed speed, your voltage settings, and your inductance settings. Those are the three different things you got on the front. Wire speed feed, voltage, and inductance. So there's the nozzle that plugs into the front right here. You can see I have a piece of flux core wire coming out the front right there. You see that? Okay, so it goes through the metal, all metal construction wire feed here, and then you can change the settings on the tension right here. This flips down. I'm not going to flip it down right now because I have a piece of wire in there. That is a 1-pound spool of flux cord wire right there. It's 30 thousandths thick. There's a little diagram on the direction of travel, how you put it together. So everything you need to do to set up your wire feed system is dictated out right there with pictures, and you can read the instructions. Your feed tensioner, like I was telling you, is this, and you adjust the tension as necessary. So 30 thousandths thickness is the size of the actual wire. Very thin, 30 thousandths thickness. Very common, that's that size. And again, what I have in there is flux cord. And let me put this somewhere. Now the settings, those are general settings, recommendations, but you're gonna adjust as needed. Like I had to make an adjustment. I put the settings that you see, whatever I needed for the thickness of the metal that I was welding, those leaf springs on the trailer. Then I adjusted. It was actually too hot, so I had to go take it down a little bit. I think I was using like 14 volts, but I'd start off with like 16 or 17 volts. When you plug it in and you turn it on and everything, you're gonna see your voltage right here, and then your amperage and your wire feed speed. See it says A for amps, and the WFS for wire feed speed, and then your voltage right here. Those are your two readouts, the amperage or your wire feed speed and your voltage. So as you hit that button, the trigger, this is going to adjust. You'll see the number change, the digital. Same here. This is going to tell you what your voltage is. And then it's very simple setup, very easy to make adjustments. And then since it's flux cord, it tells you right there if you don't know, but you should know from school, if you've gone to school, that when you're using flux cord, it's going to be DCEP, which is direct current because it's plugged into a wall, electropositive, DCEP. Then if you were to go for MIG, which is metal inert gas, GMA, gas metal arc welding, flux cord not flux cord, but DCEN, direct current electrode negative. You just pop this off, you turn it, and then you click it in here, turn it in, and then see how there's brass fittings in there? Brass is one of those non-ferrous metals that is also very like good to resist sparks and stuff like that. So you'll see a lot of brass in certain weldings, like brass fittings like that. So this brass fitting that you see here connects to the gas bottle, which would go in the back. Now the gas bottle is for MIG, metal inert gas. Your GMOF process, gas metal arc welding process, the gas bottle is going to sit on this tray in the back right here, this little area. I just got stuff there. Here's some ANSI certified safety glasses that you will wear at all times in a welding shop. You have these bad boys on the whole time. Just get used to wearing these the whole time. In school, we wore these the whole time because it's a safety thing. So you put the gas bottle here that you can purchase at welding shops like, gosh, what's a good one? I mean, there's a bunch of them, but I'm in Southern California, so we have, there's, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7 different places that are well known to purchase. Or you can go to Amazon and purchase an empty gas bottle, which is typically gold gas, which is 75% argon and 25% CO2. So that's the 75-25 gas or gold gas. And that's what you use for gas metal arc welding, or you can weld with pure CO2, which from what I understand is hotter. Now, these chains are adjustable. They hook in right here and at the bottom, and it's a safety measure to keep the gas bottle upright, because you always want it to be upright. And then also, as long as you tighten these chains around the bottle, it shouldn't ever fall or tip. This right here is your standard 3-prong IEC plug. Here's the power. Let me move this a little bit. There's your power switch. On and off. Gas input. Another brass fitting. 120 volts. And that's pretty much the entire welder with functions and what it does and blah, blah, blah. Very, very basic, easy to understand. I try to keep it all compact. I have some stuff in there, but I keep everything well put together. It's clean. After I do a welding job, even when I'm welding, this is closed because I don't want dust and debris and pieces of metal to get in there. So I'm going to try to do my best to take good care of it as I do other welding projects and build furniture and all those kinds of things. But I'm very happy with the performance of this machine. There's my welding hood or helmet, auto darkening, $60, Home Depot. This was from Lincoln Electric, which is that's the other big welding company they make a lot of welding products. Like I told you about the welding machines. Lincoln and Miller. There's Hobart. There's Titanium. There's some others, Chicago Electric, which I don't recommend, but hey, that's up to you. I'm not putting anybody down. I just don't recommend Chicago Electric. But I do recommend Miller, Lincoln, Titanium, and Hobart. I like this Titanium. It's very, very good. Extremely good. Much better than what you would expect from paying only, $290 plus tax, which is what I paid. Or even when you get it for $400, this is well worth it. It'll last you several years, even if you use it a lot. It's just, I've seen nothing but good reviews on this on YouTube from people who've purchased it and used it. Take a look yourself. I'm just another 2 cents in the whole $1 million pocket of reviewers who have reviewed the Titanium MiG 140. And I just wanted to really talk about the cart because I slapped that bad boy together and I wanted to put this welder on top. And man, it sits on there really nicely. And now that I've used it, I've done a couple of jobs actually. The other job was repairing a piece of furniture. Like a bar had broken between a chair, so it didn't sit right. Tack welded that sucker. It took 5 minutes. And they were happy with that as well. Now, this is just some extra motivation and super Marine Corps eye candy. And for all you hard chargers out there, I say semper fidelis. As we come off of September 2011, which was Friday, made me think about all the Marines who have lost their lives in the battle on the war on terror. And soldiers, airmen, sailors, for all y'all, semper fidelis from Staff Sergeant Calhoun. And I'm proud to say that I'm a Marine. I'm proud to say I'm an American. I have nothing but admiration and respect for all of our men and women in uniform. I won't take a knee. I only kneel for God. I only kneel for God. This I fly all the time. All the time. It's always being flown in this household. The Calhoun homestead, Casa Calhoun. They ain't gonna burn this flag. No way. You'd have to take me out. That's not gonna be easy because, you know, as you guys know, as a U.S. Marine, no better friend, no worse enemy. Enough on that. So this video is about welding. It's also about my appreciation for the men and women in uniform, including police, including firefighters, including doctors, including nurses, including EMTs, including security officers, including good people, good citizens in America who are always there to help, who serve their nation as teachers, football coaches, great parents, stay-at-home moms, certified nursing assistants, painters, welders, machinists, DJs. I'm a DJ. DJs do a great service, man. You guys, you know, we as DJs, we bring people together, weddings, parties, birthdays, corporate events. We bring the heat in that sense. We bring the heat as a welder. I'm a man with several hats, right? And so, I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say on that. Oh, by the way, I got this new couch. It's pretty cool. Some of you guys have watched my videos. You understand I went through some tough times in 2020. We all have, but me personally, on a personal level, really ugly, nasty divorce from my ex-wife, who we're still actually dealing with that because divorces take months. It hasn't been finalized yet. What I will say is I have no animosity towards her or her family. It just didn't work out. And it's for the best that we never are together. We're just not a good pairing. We're just incompatible. And when she moved out, of course, she took the refrigerator, the couch, the recliner. She took everything. This apartment was bare. Nothing. All this stuff you see here wasn't here except for the DJ stuff and my tools. So this was a recent acquisition. It's a really nice couch. I had to have it steam cleaned because it's like it was a neighbor's couch. And I had to steam clean all the pillows and steam clean the cushions. And it's an 8-foot couch. This sucker was heavy. I had to get it in here all by myself. By the grace of God, I did, using that dolly right there. It's a beautiful dolly, by the way. $25 on Amazon. I highly recommend it. Harper brand. It's adjustable, so you can pull these pins out, lift that up, whatever. This can haul just about anything. And why I say that? Because I used it to move in here when we moved into this apartment over a year ago. Refrigerator, all the furniture that we had, which we had a decent amount of furniture. This did 65% of the heavy work. When I bought this replacement refrigerator, which I'm a single guy now, I don't really need much, so I bought this refrigerator for $100. And it gets the job done. I got your freezer, got some hamburger patties up there. This thing is awesome. Walmart, $100. So, you know, I don't really need a whole lot. I'm a single guy, no girlfriend. Don't want a girlfriend right now. Still going through the divorce thing. I'm just taking care of business. Boom, refrigerator on deck. New couch on deck, which the other one was obviously taken. The recliner that I used to sit in that my ex-wife said she was giving to me, she took it. I got another one. So again, that's how that works. Now, when you start focusing on other things that are good, like welding, like your pride in service, gratitude for everything you have, freedom, you focus on those things, you get more good back. And that's what's happening. Things are happening in a good way. I'm very pleased with just the way I've been handling the stresses of life. Everybody deals with stress, but everybody deals with it in whatever way they deal with it differently. I work out, I do push-ups. I've returned to a lot of that healthy mindset, going on runs. I try to go run 3, 4, 5 miles Monday through Friday, push-ups, dips, sit-ups. We don't have gym memberships right now, so I still work out. I don't have weights, but I can still go do dips, push-ups, jumping jacks, crunches, and runs. And hey man, drink water and eat a healthy lifestyle, eat a healthy diet. And the blessings of life are not material possessions. They're just not. It's character building. It's good health. It's the love of your family. It's the love of friends. It's giving. When you give to people, the blessings of life are many. If you can eat a meal and have roof over your head, man, be grateful for that, if nothing else. If you have good health and you can walk and talk and hear and see and feel, be grateful. You have more than a lot of people do. There's people stuck in wheelchairs. There's people that can't talk, people who can't hear, people who can't taste food because their taste buds are gone. There's people who don't have the skills that I acquired in welding school to weld and make money. That was a blessing because that thing I spent $300 on it and it's already made me $100. So that thing is paying for itself already. It's starting to pay for itself. So it's not like it was a bad investment. It was a good investment. So back to just being grateful. I'm grateful, man. And I have no bitterness or ill will towards anybody. And I wanted to pass that along. And hopefully that energy translates through this video. So thank you guys for watching. This is Staff Sergeant Calhoun, or DJ 50 Cal from Whittier. Wishing you guys nothing but blessings from the Lord, peace and love. Go get your welding training, man. Or go to machinist school. I'm a certified machinist as well. Never give up. Always keep forging forward. Gratitude for Jesus, my Lord and Savior. Thank you guys for watching this video. Staff Sergeant Calhoun out.